We've got MyEFO out tomorrow. We're ending the political year, but with an election not far away, the politics is ever constant. Joining me now is Shadow Assistant Minister for Home Ownership, Andrew Bragg. Thank you for your time. So, MyEFO, we're getting a bit of an indication of where things are at. The headline is $100 billion will come out of forward tax receipts. This is all to do with mining. Would you agree this aspect? I mean, this was a big gift to Labor early in its term. It's being taken away. That this is essentially a big external factor. Even if you get the trappings of power, this figure won't change?
Well, I think we've seen a significant deterioration in the nation's finances, and we will see 4 years of deficits. There'll be very deep deficits. And I think that's because the government has prioritised the public sector over growing the private economy. And now the public sector is having to meet, for example, a very significant wages bill, which has exploded under this government.
What spending would you not go ahead with when we're talking MyEFO? What should be stopped right now, in your view?
Well, there's $20 or $30 billion of excess public sector expenditure now that exists because of this government's judgments to expand the size of the public sector. So we wouldn't be proceeding with that. There are a number of other large...
So sorry, $30 billion cut to the public sector.
There's a very significant growth that's occurred, $20 or $30 billion over the course of this parliament into the size of the public sector. There's also, in addition to that, very significant growth in the number of bureaucracies. There have been boondoggle funds like the National Reconstruction Fund, the Housing Fund. I mean, these are not things that we would proceed with.
Okay. I want to talk to you about nuclear energy policy as well. It was outlined on Friday. One of the headlines out of this is 40% less energy, according to the coalition, compared to Labor's plan, is what we're being told will be needed. Is there a plan B? This is obviously a prediction. AEMO has said there are two possibilities. That what this is a genuine possibility. We might need this much energy. What if we need more? What's the plan B for the coalition?
Well, as you know, when you're costing these very long-run policies, there are very different assumptions that can be used by the government agencies, AEMO or CSIRO or private sector economists. I think the main point is that we are projecting a significant increase in energy use over the long term, and we think that we can do a better job of providing that stability and that price certainty that people are looking for after, frankly, too long where governments have been playing with the energy market, and now it looks like Frankenstein's child, basically, because of Labor's very significant intervention in these last 2.5 years.
You're about to make a really significant intervention, and part of that is saying, you don't want too many renewables in the grid. So, again, the question is, what happens if your prediction is not right around how much energy we need? Would you change tack? Would you say, OK, EV take-up is higher, green hydrogen looks like it might take off. Would you then change tack and switch to the path of more energy needed?
Well, Tom, you always respond to events as they unfold, but what we're trying to do is to fix what has become an absolute nightmare. I mean, the government promised to cut energy bills. They promised a significant discount would be there for Australians, but in fact, Australians have found that energy prices have skyrocketed under this government. So the intervention is proportionate to the problem we're trying to solve here, which is to get energy prices down, because we know how crucial that is for the economy's growth over the long term.